Hey guys, I'm back to another tutorial video today. In today's video, as you can see, we're not in any IDE. I'm not in Visual Studio Code. Today, I'm on my GitHub page. Not really trying to force you guys to go see it, but it is really good. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a course catalog sort of setup. So for those of y'all who may not know what I'm talking about, basically any student of any educational institute at this point has some courses they can pick up. I think the most basic way is having a normal class versus an advanced class, like geometry on level versus geometry advanced. Like the student can pick what courses they want to add to the schedule, and my Java classes sort of model that. So this is very typical. I've also added the standard 8 course schedule. This is found pretty commonly around most high schools. Uh, the program will automatically check for faults within student selections. Basically, what this means is that, as you can see here, time conflicts. The method I set up is that um there's not a certain way to put this, but just think of it in my case scenario, in order to make this a little easier on myself, all math courses have in first period, all science courses have in second period. So sort of like that, so that students are forced to have variety, I guess. That's what I have so far. You can obviously make it better, but that's what I have so far. Same class, you can't have the same class twice in your schedule. And if you just don't have a class chosen, that's also a pretty big one. You need it. The main class is the runner file. That's all that says. So let's open it up. So we have 4 classes right here: course, course catalog, main, and student. Main, as I just mentioned, is my runner class, so we'll look at that last. Let's look at course.java first. So as you can see, I have my import statement. Always need that. And I have a lot of private instance variables. These are just basically to give a course some meaning. Very standard stuff. Here's its constructor, just initializes it whenever I call it in any other class. Uh, this is also just if you wanted to create a course without giving all this extra information. If you just wanted to give it the name of the course and the amount of hours it gives, that's also an option. You can create as many constructors as you like, as long as they take different parameters. Uh, so I just have all the accessor methods right here on how to get everything. Very, very simple. Here's a toString method I use for easily printing stuff out. So as you can see, it's just a nice way of formatting it, basically. Uh, Here's an equals class, which we'll get into later, but just remember it exists in this. Now opening up course catalog.java. The main thing here, as you can see, I've added a lot of courses. As you can see, I have 100 courses right now in my course catalog. Uh, yeah, pretty large. I have a counter instance variable as well, but we'll get to that later. So I initialize counter equal to 0 right inside my constructor, and I keep on adding a bunch of courses. By the way, these are real courses, so there you go. But basically, what I did is that I just kept on adding courses, and after I had around 8 courses set up, I just set the count equal to 8. Now, whenever, let's say, I wanted to get all these courses or something, I have a get method right here. Whenever I want to get a singular course, like for example in a for loop when I'm iterating through it, I can pass the parameter I, and that'll return the certain index. Let's just say you also just wanted to add a course generally to the course catalog. Typically from the professor's point of view, you can do it here. By just because this is the fixed amount. Like after this, if you want to add another course, you have to do it directly through here. And yeah, that's pretty helpful. Now let's look at student on Java. This class actually represents that from the eyes of a student. You guys can ignore these. These are all the colorful things I wanted to add to Java, but my private instance variables, the student will have a name and ID. That's basically a given for every student, and they also have their own schedule, another given. It's made out of 8 courses. There you go. Here's my constructor to initialize everything. My toString method to make it look nice, and now my add course and my replace methods. Let's look here. Now this counts how many times students has added a course to their schedule. So I have a huge for loop, and let's look into it. Um, well, actually, we'll get into added later, but here. So if the spot in their schedule they're looking for is empty or null, then there should be no error at all. You can add the schedule. That's what I do here. course X is the parameter I take in. I print it out. It's been added to your schedule. I make added is equal to 0 still, and then just break out of the for loop. All right, you guys will understand added when I get through it. Now in my else if schedule I, meaning the course I'm looking at, already equals the course I want to add, then I can't add it because then I can't have two classes that are the same in my schedule. So I make added equal to 1, and then I say you cannot add this because you already have it, and I break out. Now, another else if they have the same period, I make added equal to 2, print you cannot add this due to time conflict, and I break out. And I return added at the end of this method. See, nothing goes to replace just yet. Um, and I just return it. Now let's look over here in main.java. All my colors, very nice. And this just stores the main method. I think. Nope, it has an add method. There you go. I created a course catalog object called Y so I can access stuff from my course catalog method. And then I print out the entire course catalog through a for loop. And as if you guys remember, I had like 100 courses in my course catalog, but I didn't want to keep on printing null, 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 null every time. So I just made sure if it equals null, break, and if it does not equal null, then print it out. Now here is where I manually added in a course. I added an AP Physics, and I created a new student class, my name, and I added a bunch of courses to my schedule, including physics. And then here's my add method. Okay, I take a student and a course. I initialize my scanner thanks to my scanner right there in my import statement. And I look here. So I take added, right? Which was what I was returned. I named it the same thing because I can. This is a switch case, very similar to an if-else statement sort of thing. I just felt like this was easier for my purposes. So I use switch case here and check for added. So if added was equal to 2, okay, let's look at this. So if added was equal to 0, right? Which was over here, I believe, my student class. So I returned added equals 0 if there's no problem and it works perfectly. All right. Look here, added is equal to 1. They already have the course. There's not much you can do about that. They already have it. However, case 2, when added was equal to 2, that is when there was a time conflict, right? So what you have to do is you have to see. So I printed would you like to replace the course and I would take user input, and if the user input was equal to 1, meaning they did want to replace, I would just do a.replace b and break. And that's where we go into our replace method over here. So yeah, so basically what it does is it creates a for loop. If schedule I.getPeriod is equal to b, schedule I is equal to b, this is not a print, and then I break. So that's the main gist of it. And yes, it does work. And if you guys want this code, I'll put the link to it in the description down below, and you guys can check it out. Besides that, you can also check my about section on my channel where I've linked my GitHub. There's that. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Though, hope this tutorial helped out a lot. And yeah, see you guys next time.